Good morning and welcome to the fifth quarter AZ. My name is Danny Neal and I am your co-host for this morning's show. And I'm happy to be here on this cold morning in Flagstaff, Arizona. But hey, we can always bring a little warmth to the room when we bring a man, my co-host to the show, who's always hot. Whether he's coaching state championships, whether he's leading the city in recreation, whether he's taking care of his grandson, whatever that man doing, he's smoking. So we're gonna bring a little warmth to the room on a cold morning with my guy, the coach, Mr. Tyrone Johnson. How you doing this morning, man?
Coach, I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing this morning?
Oh, yeah, hey, man, I'm good. It's cold. I went outside for a minute, take some garbage out, and man, I had to put on my sweatshirt. It was cold.
See, it is a little cold, but it's not quite as cold as I thought, you know what I mean? Because I actually was going to come in with my beanie today, you know what I'm saying, to represent our guests and stuff like that. But I was like, it ain't that cold out here. I don't need to be doing all that.
I don't need to do all that. No. But it definitely spring. Might get a little bit of snow today or something, but it's just going to fall, to be falling. It's not sticking or anything like that. So, but anyway, man, it's funny because we got these spring sports going on, practicing in the gym. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And they keeping their fingers crossed because I know at least at Flag High, they both have home games for state tournaments. And so, tomorrow. You want your home field. So you're hoping that the weather hold out so you can play.
Right. I know we were talking to Coach Hernandez yesterday, and he was mentioning just that, the fact that they have to play tomorrow. Boys and Flag High boys and girls softball play at 11 o'clock tomorrow here at home, and it may be in snowy conditions or if played at all. So the challenges of being a spring sport coach here in Flagstaff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You got to be adaptable. You know what I mean? You got to be able to adjust to the weather conditions and then still be able to put out your best product, such as sand volleyball, who was digging out snow most of the season. And,
right.
Still, Flag High girls sand volleyball, congrats to them. They got a state runner-up. They lost to South Point just 3-2, but a great season. And I think they return a whole bunch. So future bright.
Yeah, so well, that's good. I know Coconu's softball team, last I heard, they were undefeated. And I'm sure that's probably going into state, and they're ranked highly. So I'm sure they'll have at least maybe 2 home games.
I think they're ranked in the top 5. I don't know. I don't think they're undefeated, but they're ranked in the top 5, I want to say. So they definitely had a chance to get 2 home games and got to see them play against Flag High a little bit. And they were clicking. It was a good game, but they were clicking. So we'll see. Hopefully they can continue that into the tournament and we can just have some good representation from the Grand Canyon region and, of course, Flagstaff.
Right. And as long as you got one of our past guests, Caitlin So, coming off the mound for Coconino, they've always got a chance.
Yeah.
So, because she be coming with it. She be coming with it. And we still got to do that challenge where you're going to hit off of them.
Yeah, so, man.
All the challenges are still on. We want to make sure that's clear. All the challenges are still on. So
I was going to say that's why y'all was closing down the show because, I was training and I was getting ready to show up to show out. You know what I mean?
Is that what it was?
That's what it was.
No. We're going to keep that going, man. So have a little fun with it, man. But, we want to get this show moving on. We got a couple of gentlemen who are here on the show this morning, missing class. So we got to get them going so they can go to school. And this is some people we've never had before. The subject is snowboarding, something I've never done before. I don't know about you, Coach, but we have 2 of the best, both freshmen at Flagstaff High School, and I want to make sure I get their names right. So we got Trace and Teake Reich. Good morning, guys. How you doing? Doing good? Did I get those names right?
Yep. Yes.
Hey, that's all right.
That's a miracle. That means the show is off to a good start if he got the names right. Hey, we appreciate y'all joining us this morning, fellas. You guys are freshmen and you're doing your thing on the snowboard, but tell us a little bit about just who you are and what else that you've done as far as coming up with your sports and your accolades and everything else.
Okay. Well, we are very active with sports, obviously. We do baseball. We used to play some soccer, hunting.
We do
fishing,
fishing,
some wakeboarding in the summer, a bunch of dirt bike riding, and a bunch of sports like that.
Man, y'all be snowboarding and dirt biking and man, y'all be out there doing it, living dangerously. Them things, like I'm almost 70 years old. I have not done any of that. and I promise you, I'm over. Like I said, I'm almost 70. I won't be doing it. But don't even start, Coach. But your family's pretty active in this also, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Our dad also enjoys going snowboarding with us. We try to do a lot of that with him. He does dirt biking and hunting and fishing and kind of all of that with us too. Our mom does a lot of it with us too.
So see, before we get into the sports, y'all mentioned something that I like. You know what I mean? That's that fishing. What type of fishing y'all be doing, and where you be going? And look, I want a fish story. I want the biggest fish that each of you done caught.
Well, we have a couple stories from fishing. We go up to Lake Powell a lot. I remember we were at Lake Powell, and Trace had a bass at the top of the water, and he caught it. It was about 10-pound bass, like this big. It was a big bass. Not quite sure how much it weighed, but it was a good size one.
Was it a striper bass? One of them stripers?
No, it was a largemouth.
Okay.
It was a good size one. It was great.
Did you bring it in by yourself, Trace?
Yeah, I did. Honestly, I was just messing around with some lures on the top of the water, and it just came up and absolutely swamped it. Didn't even expect it.
That's cool. That's one of the best feelings, and then you just catch on and
yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Right. And what about you, Teake?
We've done some striper fishing up in Lake Powell, where we caught like 8 or 10 good sized ones about this big. And yeah, it's great. We catch them on anchovies, and that we don't. It's great when you find the striper boils because you can like cast into them and
with
catch the fish.
Like a little shiny something. Doesn't even have to. It could just be basically a piece of metal, and they'll bite it.
Yeah, they attack.
Yeah, anything shiny.
Yeah.
Nah, that's pretty cool. Knowledgeable about this, man. See, Coach sitting here understanding everything you guys are saying, and I'm here like, No snowboarding. How did you get into snowboarding?
Well, our dad originally introduced us to skiing when we were just a couple years old, maybe 4 years old.
Wow.
And we absolutely enjoyed it, but we saw some people go down the mountain on these snowboards, right? And we decided that we'd rather try that. And as soon as we did it, we knew that that's what we wanted to stick with. So ever since then, we kind of just tried to go up there as much as possible. We've always been with our dad until these last couple of years where he's let us go up kind of on our own. And we just really enjoy it a lot. Like there's no other feeling to us in the world that's like it.
Powder
days especially.
So what events do you do? Because I know, look, if you watch it on TV, you kind of got that half pipe, you got the big air type stuff, you got a slalom. I mean, what do you guys do? Do you do some of it all, or is there something that you specialize in?
Some of it all. USSA Grand Canyon Series does a variety of ones. They do slope style, border cross. What else? There's Bose Bash. It's like where you go down and do moguls and stuff, and there's a jump at the end, and there's slalom, rail jam,
and rail jam is particularly my favorite.
So is that like kind of like skateboarding, where you see the skateboarders go and they hop up on the rail? So you snowboard and you hop up on the rail and you got to slide the rail for a certain amount of time?
Yeah, pretty much. You're just judged on like the best trick, like on and off, and how long you ride the rail. Like if it's a really long rail, if you ride it all the way, that gets you some serious points because it's decently difficult to ride a round rail. there's these rails that I enjoy. They're called handrails. They're kind of about waist height. You jump onto them, and they're literally like a handrail with just a tube on top. And those are probably some of my favorite ones to ride.
Yeah, and those are a lot of fun. We really enjoy those.
So what's the technique in jumping up on the rail? Getting the board up there and you on the board?
A big part of it is your run up, your approach. So if you don't have a really good run up or approach, you're probably not going to do great on the rail. So you want to come up to the right side if you're doing a front side board slide. And just try to place the rail in the middle of your board to hopefully accomplish sliding down the whole rail.
And how do you because Flagstaff, sometimes we have solid winners, you know what I mean? Sometimes we have just so-so winners. And so how do you really hone your skill and do it when, you know, a lot of sports do stuff year round, and obviously you guys can't here in Flagstaff snowboard year round. How do you hone that skill to where you can be accurate, be able to land in the middle of the board and do any of your tricks?
We really don't have that much practice at home or in the summers. I'd say the closest thing would be wakeboarding, but there's really not many rails, or there's jumps obviously with the wake, but we haven't really done any rails with snowboard or wakeboarding. But we do try and get up there most every weekend that we can. And we'd spend we skip maybe a half an hour of the lift's time that it opens at max.
Yeah, we also have a private coach that helps us learn new tricks and land things, and his name's Seth. He's a really great coach to us, and really appreciate him. He's helped us out a lot.
Yeah.
So, what competitions do you go to?
So in Snowball, we did not host this last year border cross, but we did slalom. I particularly do not like slalom so much. I enjoy more so rail jams, like I said, because there's just a lot more chances to get it right if you do something wrong, because you have a certain amount of time to go down as many times as you can, because there's like a set of 4 rails next to each other and you can choose from each one. And that's why I like it. And then there's Teake's favorite competition, as far as I know, that's slope style.
Yeah, slope style is my favorite. I really like getting some big air off of the jumps that Snowball builds. I really like doing flips off of them, particularly this year. That was really great. Slope style sometimes have rails at the top of the slope, so it's a couple rails, and then you go into the jumps, which is fun, and you try to land all your tricks and get the most points to win.
So can you guys explain the difference? What is slalom compared to slope style? What's the difference between that? Is slope style you just going down and you hit a jump at the end, or slaloms you going through flags? Can you explain the difference between them?
Yeah, slalom is you start at the top and your best time to go down and weave between flags. So it's you weave between flags. Usually it's a left turn or a right turn, or right turn or a left turn. And you basically want to get to the bottom as fast as you can. Okay. And with slope style, it's the most tricks, like the best tricks. Like if you do a 360, it's going to be less than a 180 or more than a 180, my bad. So, and there's typically, this year it was 2 jumps and a couple rails up top. And you want to do a trick off a rail to get points, and then you want to do a trick off the jump to do more points. So slalom is to get the best time to win, and slope style's the best trick.
Okay.
So where all have you guys competed? What other states or have you guys competed?
We really haven't gone and competed anywhere else other than Snowball, just
okay.
Or at least not in these past years. But we're definitely planning to this next snow year. We're definitely gonna go and compete in some other places. We're planning, if we get an invitation to nationals, to definitely go to that.
And how do you get an invitation rather to nationals?
Well, usually it's just by placement in competition. So each competition is ranked with different people. So say you get first place through every competition that you went to for slopestyle, you would get almost guaranteed a invitation to nationals. And if you got like a second or third place, they would definitely give you one. But you have to definitely podium, I think, in order for them to give you one, because they only invite the best of the best.
And that's what when you get your awards, you actually get on the podium, right? And you guys get medals and all that, and it's gold, silver, bronze, or do you get like first, second, third place trophies?
Yeah, it's gold, silver, bronze.
They're medals that you hang around your neck. Yeah.
So is snowboarding Olympic competition?
In some areas, yes. Like we do not do half pipe, which there is competitions in the Olympics for like half pipe. I know that there's border cross. I think they got introduced here in the last year or so for Olympics, and then I think there's. I don't know if there's. I know there's skiing slalom, but I don't know about snowboarding.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No, what did you say, Teake?
They have an X Games that it's not quite the same, but it's a bunch of like big jumps and it's rails and stuff like that.
Kind of where all of the people that you see like sponsored from like Red Bull and stuff, like all of the people that are sending like these crazy tricks that you would never imagine could be done. That's where they go and they compete.
Right. Yeah, I've seen the X Games. That's crazy. There's got ESPN. I don't know if they still show a lot of it, but they did show a lot of it. So, in basketball, they got the and one tapes, all these crazy dribbling and stuff. So is the X Games the and one tapes for snowboarders?
Yeah.
Pretty much, even though it's individual, they all go there and they all kind of interact with each other. It's just one big competition with each other.
Is that something that you guys aspire to, or what do you aspire to when it comes to snowboarding?
Yeah, that's definitely something that we would look forward to.
Yeah, something that we'd want to put in the work to go to if we made it that far.
Yeah. And I know you said you got a personal trainer and whatnot that's teaching you all the tricks and stuff like that. How much time do you spend to master a trick or to get one down? Are you guys just like see it one time, go out there like, oh, I got this, or is it hundreds and hundreds of reps?
Hundreds.
Well, it usually depends on the trick. Like if it's a difficult trick, like for backflips, we went and we did a powder day. We went and built a jump off in the woods somewhere, and we took about 2 or 3 tries and we landed it.
Okay.
So we got
that was pretty easy, and we just had to get the mental mindset to go do it on one of the hard compact jumps.
We also had a little experience with that from like trampolines and to like wakeboarding a little bit. Stuff like that. That probably helped a little bit with landing some of those flips. But if you get a trick where it's like a 270 off of a rail, that's a little bit more difficult because you got to get your momentum moving in the right direction to get it all the way around and stuff like that. So that's a more difficult trick. That one we're still kind of working on. That takes a while to.
Yeah, especially because you have to work on like executing it well. You have to get on the rail first of all, and then you have to work on getting your spin. So if you don't land on it right, you won't get the spin, but if you do, you have to work on your spin off. And usually it's tricky to get that started just because you're too focused on balancing until you really start getting the hang of it.
Yep. And you guys, Coach Neal, he wasn't that great at math, so a 270 is like a 3/4 turn, right? It's not quite a full turn, and a little bit more than a half turn. A 270,
So,
3/4?
basically, it's when your board is with your shoulders, right? So if the rail is pointing downhill from you and your board is across it, kind of like an X, right? Or a plus sign, then you have to work on spinning to where your board faces downhill. So that's 270 degrees around.
Great explanation. Thank you for that.
Yes, I knew that. Yeah, man. I appreciate that, Coach. Anyway, all these jumps and getting them down and all that, obviously there's some falls.
Yeah.
Involved. So, basketball, we got our jersey, we got our shorts, trunks. Football, they have their helmets, their shoulder pads. What is when you get ready to go out for this, what does your attire look like? How many, where do you have pads? Where do you have helmets? Do you?
Yeah, so we definitely it's a requirement when you're competing to wear a helmet, which is obviously a smart idea. So we always wear helmets. And you have to have some sort of something protecting your eyes, I think. In some competitions, I think it's like slalom. Just because if you crash into a flag, they don't want you getting anything to the face. And other than that, you kind of just have to have a helmet and goggles. Are really the
No,
only.
like elbow pads, knee pads.
No, not usually. You can wear them if you want to, but to a certain extent, they just more so get in the way than they do help.
Yeah, they kind of limit your ability to movement and stuff like that. But
yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. You want to obviously be free, especially when you're doing all them tricks and everything. You want to be mobile. So what, Coach Neal? I seen something on your mouth. What?
Hey, man, I'm just saying, if I'd have on the whole football uniform if I'm going to go out there and do that, man. Because, that snow is hard.
Yeah.
You're out there falling on it and all that. I would assume you would have knee pads, elbow pads. And nowadays, they can make things so lightweight, but still very protected.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if, maybe that was the case with you guys. That's why I asked.
Yeah. So with the conditions, like he's talking about the conditions and the surface and everything, is it better to go after it's nice and hard and icy or, fresh snow? What's the best conditions for your sport?
I like right when it's groomed after like an hour or two of sunlight. It's not so crusty because in the morning it's like ice, a sheet of ice, and it's crusty. But right after like that icy, crusty layer goes away, that's the best time to go.
I personally like the powder days when it's just snowed like a foot or so because in my eyes, powder basically says you won't get hurt because it's nice and soft and fluffy. I can basically do anything I want unless, there's a tree in my way that just happens to get in front of the trail or something. Like that's about the only thing I can think of on a powder day that I can get hurt.
That could be a problem.
Yeah. Well, hello, tree.
Yes, indeed. Well, but okay, let's change gears a little bit here. You're obviously doing very well in snowboarding. What position do you guys play in baseball?
I play second base.
I usually play outfield. That's what I really enjoy.
And how'd you guys do this year?
Our team didn't do so well.
It was a tough season. We had some great plays with the outfield and infield. We fought hard, but next year we're gonna have to come even harder. Cause
I like that. And I'm sitting there, I've been smiling through the whole show because we got these two freshmen sitting there. They are so knowledgeable about everything we've asked them. They've explained it to the T. It's like talking to two grown men, just in little bitty bodies. You guys are incredible. The way you're explaining everything thoroughly. And the knowledge you've had about skateboarding, not skateboarding, but snowboarding and fishing and all this stuff. And then the attitude you have about your baseball this season is well beyond your years. So I'm excited to follow you and see where you go from here. So say you do really well in baseball and offer a baseball scholarship. Would it be somewhere where there's snowing so you could also snowboard?
Yep.
Absolutely.
For me, definitely.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't want to bust y'all bubble, but if you're on a scholarship for baseball, they ain't gonna let you on that mountain. So
Yeah,
yes, indeed.
That's a good team builder.
So how much time do you guys spend on the diamond? If you're really excelling in snowboarding and stuff like that, and you're looking to improve in baseball, do you spend a lot of time doing baseball in season, or do you do it out of season too to work on your skills? How does all that work? Your balancing act with everything.
That's a hard one because we love both of them. So it kind of depends. If we have a competition coming up, we'll probably choose the competition, the training over the baseball, or like a practice. But we also want to be there for practice to improve on baseball. So it's right in between where you have to find time for both. So we would like to find space for baseball when it's not the best day to go snowboarding. Mm-hmm. So we would train on baseball, but when it's snowing outside, we'd lean to snowboarding to train on snowboarding.
Yeah.
So what do you do in baseball that helps you in snowboarding, and vice versa? What in snowboarding do you do that helps you in baseball?
I would definitely say that swinging the bat kind of helps you with balance because you're pulling your weight around with the bat and hitting the ball, and also base running for stamina and explosiveness. Because for snowboarding, if you have a really tall rail with a short lip, you have to be explosive off of the lip to get enough air to get on top of the rail instead of kind of just getting on there and then sliding off.
Nice.
Pete?
I think maybe hand-feet coordination, maybe for Trey said, running around the bases, touching the corner of the base with the bag kind of relates to hopping on the rail, making sure that your board is centered on the rail and everything.
Nice. That's good. And then with the explosiveness that you were talking about too, when you first starting down the hill, I'm gonna say, for lack of better words, when you first starting down the hill, how do you really get going with that? I mean, is it similar to if you're leading off the base and you're here low and you're ready to explode, when you're still in the base, is it similar there? How do you get your momentum and speed going downhill?
You kind of just have to lean and go with it, I guess. There's not really an in between, I would say. You just
commit.
You just have to commit. Snowboarding is a very mental game other than the physical aspects. It is really rough on you mentally because you're constantly thinking about, okay, what am I going to do here? How am I going to do this? And thinking about all of the tricks that you've done in some other place and trying to put them on a big scary jump or a long kind of rough rail or something.
Do you guys get any mental health coaching? How do you really gear up for the mental aspect of it? Is it just your parents giving you confidence, or do you have a sports coach, like a sports psychologist? How do you prepare on that mental side?
USSA has a coach that sometimes comes out. It's not every competition, but they'll come out and talk to you ways to amp yourself up or calm yourself down to get prepared for the competition. A big one for me is my brother cheering me on, or I'm cheering him on, or just pushing us to our limits.
Yeah, the brotherly
competition.
Yeah, that's what I would say is what really does that.
Well, that's all right. So when you're not, I understand you're getting better through practice on the snowboard, baseball. What are you doing outside of that to keep you in shape for snowboarding and baseball? I mean, is snowboarding a cardio sport? Do you get really I mean, it seems like you would get very, very tired.
Yes, you definitely do.
It's a big muscle workout when you're snowboarding. If you don't go up for a while, my calves tend to hurt because you use like heel and toe edge a lot. So your calves will burn a little bit. So that could maybe help get your calves stronger for baseball, for power hitting.
And yeah,
you look like a power hitter.
Yeah, we definitely do. Like, I guess in all of our stuff that we do, including like the dirt biking, the hunting, like it all involves cardio. So pretty much no matter what we're doing, we're always like conditioning ourselves for the next thing. Like in dirt biking, it's a lot of work. You're swinging around like a heavy dirt bike that's probably 2 times your weight, and if you tip it over on a hill or something, you obviously have to get it back up, and that's what I would say is where most of our stuff comes from, is from everything else, like all of our other sports.
And when you guys do that, when you're out wakeboarding, when you're out dirt bike riding, when you're doing all that, do you find yourselves competing with each other, even if it's not an actual competition? Do you just look at each other and take off and try and catch?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, one does a jump and the other one has to do it better, and then it just continues.
Yeah.
Hey, that's where the great brothers started. That's where the great brothers started. Well, that's good. That's good. So I know Coach had asked you, where do you want to go with this? You want to go further with it and everything else. What are your other aspirations as you go through high school and everything? What goals do you have as you move further?
I would like to make varsity as I grow older for baseball. As I go on, I would like to maybe with snowboarding win nationals. To continue on some of those. And some smaller ones like fishing, maybe catch a new personal record bass or a fish like that.
Yeah, for me, I would definitely say in the closer years, definitely winning nationals for snowboarding. Definitely for baseball, kind of the same as Teake. Like, I would definitely love to make varsity. And maybe even further, if I'm thinking, I would definitely love to go to like the X Games, or I haven't really had much time to experience half pipe on snowboarding. I would love to do that and maybe carry that on further.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. Yep. And one more thing when it comes to fishing, do you guys use fishing or any other sports as a way to kind of decompress and get away from everything? So mentally, you just go out, you fish, and that's kind of like a calm for you, or is that still competitive when you do it?
It definitely can be a little bit of both. Like if I'm just looking to get some time away from everyone, I definitely would go fishing or take a day off and go snowboarding or something. But at the same time, it does get competitive with Teake, obviously.
Yeah, who can catch the bigger fish?
Yeah.
Hey, we always say first, biggest, most. We keep a tally on who gets all them.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's been awesome to have you guys on the show. Like I said, I've been sitting there smiling, just listening to you guys talking and how knowledgeable, how mature you guys are, and I good things are gonna happen to you guys. Kudos to your parents. Obviously, they've done very well. Do you have any other siblings, or is it just you two?
No, we have 3 other siblings. We have our oldest brother. He's in Florida right now. He lives in Florida. We have our oldest sister. She lives in LA. And then we have our middle sister. Her name's Brooke. She's in Jackson Hole right now, wishing we could be there. Yeah, our youngest sister, she is an interior architect and is doing really well with that. So Good for her. And our sister in LA, she's doing movie like production and stuff like that.
Oh. So, well, that's all right, man. So you got great role models, great parents, and the future is bright for you guys. So just listening to you guys, like I say, with the maturity level, with your knowledge level, it is time for you to impart a little wisdom on not just your peers, but us older people that can learn something from you. And we do that by way of Coach Johnson's golden nugget question of the day. What you got for him, Coach?
All right, guys. No, this has been awesome, and definitely appreciate you guys being here. So, for the golden nugget, it's gonna be a two-part. Just give me one piece of advice that you would give other teens when they're pursuing their endeavors, and then also a piece of advice that you would give parents in order to support you to your fullest to fulfill your dreams.
I think letting the parents follow your dreams. So like if you really want to stick with something, you really want to go with it, to let them try it out, at least to let them go with it. And
I want to add to that. Make sure to, like, for me, a big thing is buying the snowboard, like buying them the resources to do it. Like, it has to be good.
You need quality, right? You need quality.
Like, if they want to follow something with it, I would definitely say to let them, like, look at what the market is for the stuff that they are using, like a snowboard or something, and understand the prices. Like, I know for my parents, sometimes they think that a snowboard's like expensive. Like, obviously it's a lot of money, but for the market, that's what a snowboard normally costs.
Right. Absolutely. And then what about what advice would you give to any of your peers when they're pursuing their goals? I mean, the way that you guys have pursued your goals and how you've done very well in snowboarding. What advice would you give your peers in pursuit of their goals?
To keep going. Like, don't stop if you're having a hard time doing something, landing a trick. Don't stop and say this is too hard.
Like if you're in a slump and you just had a bad day where, you hurt yourself, you fell too hard and had to go sit in the lodge for a bit or something.
Yeah, don't be scared to go back out and try again, and just keep going.
Big factor, especially in snowboarding, is confidence and being like able to believe in yourself for doing something.
Yeah. Have fun.
That's awesome,
you go.
Guys. That's awesome.
That's it. That's it. So we appreciate you guys. Like I said, man, you guys are incredible. Go Eagles. And you guys, we will definitely be keeping an eye out for you guys. And if there's anything we can help you with, please let us know. We're always at Flag High with the girls. Like I told you earlier, Coach Johnson is the head over the girls basketball program. And I'm always somewhere, making life hard on him. So we're somewhere around there. So hey, stop by and say hello. Love to meet you personally, and we're just gonna follow you guys, and proud of it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna add to that. That's gonna be more of an expectation now. You know what I mean? Y'all see us at the school. The expectation is y'all come say what's up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Trace, Teake, we appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for being on the show this morning and blessing us with your knowledge and your passion. And best of luck to you and everything. And we will be keeping up with you.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Later. Well, Coach, it's been a good 2 years, man.
It has, man.
We had a great run. This is our last show, but it's been good, man.
And what a show to end it with, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Two youth that's out there doing it, like you say, that's knowledgeable, that's articulate, and just kind of why we do the show to introduce people such as that to look to the world.
Exactly. Millions. I always say millions of people are watching. And that's you're right about that's the way we want to end the show, because that's the reason we do the show. Is young men like that. Is, for the last 5 or 6 years, even longer, we've been trying to get this done. So kudos to Aaron Gicarella for coming in and saying, hey, let me help y'all do this. We had no plans on it going 2 years. We had no plans on the millions of people watching us that are watching us, man. But it couldn't be done without Aaron coming and helping us out, without Billy coming and helping us out. We had Michelle Benedict, we had Katie Blackett Snyder, and Tommy Hernandez, and Mr. Flag Coco, Russell Woods, and Jackie Gicarella coming on and helping us, and allowing Aaron to take a little time from her to do this show. And also to you, because you know how long I've been trying to get this done.
Yeah.
For 10, 15 years. And I always get you involved in whatever I'm doing. Coach Johnston come help us, whether it's Gene Scholarship, whether it's Blackstone Sports Foundation, Flag Hoops, whatever it is, And so I appreciate you coming along with this endeavor and making it what it's been. And it's just been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, man. And I definitely appreciate you and appreciate the invite and just the vision and just, everything that, again, you mean to the community, and just getting out and being able just to, again, just chop it up with the people, just like we at the Rec and just like we do, whether we're at the high school or whatever, and bring them into our world, into our conversations. And so it's been a good ride. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it, and I appreciate everybody that's been involved, from guests to our production team. And hey, it's been a blessing.
It's been fun, man. And I was just sitting here, looking at all the list of all the guests we've had, and over 100 shows, and people I did not know that now we know and rooting for. And people we did know who were rooting for, who are still doing great things. There were great things while they were here. Now there are other places doing great things, and we were able to highlight them. So
you look at the array of things. I mean, everybody know the traditional sports that you'll typically follow in the paper and this and that, but we were able to step outside of that, and whether we did racquetball, whether it was the baton twirlers,
cheerleading,
just some of everything that was outside of the realm of your traditional sports. And then, of course, even with the traditional sports, all of the cool guests that we got to be on, whether it was coaches or athletes. And so, and again, I'm telling y'all, they shutting this down because I was training, I was getting ready.
Hey, the challenge is still low. We're gonna go on with all of them, to go back, look at all them challenges and make sure they're taken care of, and still put out some shorts as we go on through, because you never know what's happening. We may just pop up again.
Coach, look at this. Look at this. I still buy shirts with stomachs in them. You think I've been training?
Hey, man, I thought you stopped buying them shirts with the stomach already in them, man.
Hey, man, I was like, hey, I like them. Let me get a couple more of them.
So look, man, we're going to put you in training and get some of these young folks to go training you and get you to get some shirts that just like got that slim trim look to them, man.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do that.
That's right, man. But, like I say, it's been a ball. We want to thank everybody that subscribed, that watched the show, that just out in the streets was like, hey, man, I saw that show. I like that, Everybody's been on the show. And I want to apologize to some people who were going to be on the show, Dusty Sullivan, some more people that we had scheduled, that it's not going to be able to happen right now. So I want to apologize to everybody we had scheduled to be on the show. You never know. You just never know what may happen in the future. But hey, man, it's been a ride, but it's been a ball. And the clock on the wall says it's time to go now. Go now. Go now.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And, big up to the people, too, who actually filled out the form and made suggestions for guests that we weren't thinking of, and we were able to get on. And so we appreciate it. But yeah, Coach, I guess it's that time, man.
It's that time. This has turned out to be more than we ever thought it would be.
Yeah, it did.
It turned out to be more than we ever did. And it's something that we can look at forever. Our great grandkids can go back and see this and see that I was a pretty good looking man at one time. But
at one point in time, yes, indeed, debonair. But hey, if they look at that very first show when you came in here with your stuff hanging on, they're gonna be like, "What was he thinking?"
Hey man, I didn't know we was gonna have millions and millions of viewers. So I cleaned up a little bit.
You did. So, I mean, it's in the YouTube verse forever now. But
that's right. Hey, that's right. So, well, Coach,
again, one more time. We appreciate y'all joining us, showing us the love. Some people got to work. Some people just get to relax for the day. I don't know what all y'all got to do today. But for one last time, I do know one thing. You ain't got to go home.
But you got to leave here. Be safe, show love, and if you ain't wearing a smile, you ain't fully dressed. Peace.